Hello, Aurora lovers. I'm DaleBoan from DaleBoanImaging, and this is Aurora Hunting 101. This is episode 22. What is nightglow? At night, in the right conditions, you can sometimes see the air above you glow. Unfortunately, this needs to be almost perfect conditions, and your eyes need to be completely adapted to the dark. This is called airglow or sometimes nightglow. Cameras are, of course, much better at capturing this, and it is sometimes confused with aurora because the dominant color is green. Let's explore. So let's start with, this is actually a video, but we will just take a quick look at the picture. So this was fairly recent when I was trying to photograph the Perseids. There's a couple streaks in here, but they're probably satellites and not meteors. There actually is a little bit of aurora, and it wasn't even visible. This would just show up as a slightly brighter patch in the sky. I couldn't see any colors, couldn't see any structure, but you know, this yellow or greenish, in this one it's pretty much yellow band with the magenta above. That's in the north, that's going to be aurora. This green and a little bit of magenta pattern through the sky is airglow. And the structure of them are different, right? These are sort of in bands. The aurora tends to be in an arc above the horizon. Airglow tends to wander all over the place, although it is more common lower on the horizon. And if I play this as a video, you can see how it moves around. It's moving, drifting around almost like clouds. And this is a part of the Milky Way, the northern part, or the part facing away from the core, towards the outside edge of the Milky Way. And we got the Pleiades, and this little V here is the face of Taurus. It's always a good idea to learn a few constellations, but if you know, we can see these alternating green bands moving around, and that is airglow. So that night there was a lot of airglow. Sometimes a little, sometimes there's a lot. It's certainly more common to be there for there to be less airglow than a lot. I was going to take this out. This is a picture of Steve. I had it in the last episode, but there's a band of airglow near the horizon, and that's the more common case. Closer to the horizon, you're looking through more atmosphere, and for the sun and the moon, which is shining through the atmosphere, that shifts the color and makes them darker. For airglow, it's doing approximately the opposite of that. Since the air is actually glowing, you're looking through more air, so there is more color and light being generated lower down than higher up. Higher up, you're just looking through the minimum amount of air. So it's less common for it to be overhead than lower on the horizon. This is a panorama, so we've got northern lights that popped up actually really quickly. This is near Waterton National Park in Alberta, and this was actually a photography conference called the now I'm blanking on it. Light Chasers, the Light Chasers Photography Conference in Pinch Creek, Alberta. There's only been two. I've gone to both of them. They're both a really good time. It's a beautiful place to photograph. Beautiful national park, further about 45 minutes away. Highly recommended. This was supposed to be a Milky Way workshop. I didn't really need the workshop, but I figured I'd hang out. I was over on the other side of the lake taking pictures, and the aurora popped up, and I yelled, "Hey, there's aurora," and everyone turned around, and that was the end of the Milky Way photography. But you can see that there is, so we got three different things in here. We got So more the greeny color aurora, the magenta band higher up in the atmosphere. The green is about 100 to 300 kilometers, and then 3 plus is usually magenta colored. Both oxygen, but different colors coming from the oxygen. And then the green from the sky glow scattered around the sky, again still lower on the horizon, not too much of us higher up, and then the Milky Way arcing across. A little bit of light pollution over here lighting up the mountains. This is Grasslands National Park. So Comet Neowise a couple of years ago. It is a very dark place. It is a dark sky preserve. So we've got, you can see the bands of the night glow, air glow, as well as the comet. This is a very dark place. This is north. There is no aurora on the horizon that night. It is almost at the Canada-US border. So it's about 49 degrees south. Another Milky Way shot. Again, same pattern. More bands of air glow closer to the horizon. This is a panoramic of the Milky Way again, but higher in the sky, and it was a total lunar eclipse, so the moon is sitting right in the middle. But we got a bit of air glow here. This is north, so is that aurora or is that sky glow? I think it's sky glow and not aurora, but in this case, it's actually pretty hard to tell. We don't have, there's a little bit of purpley colors over in here, but I'm more convinced that that is air glow and not aurora. There actually is a term called sky glow, and that's the glow around light sources. So this would be sky glow on the horizon around those light sources. Another picture of air glow and the northern lights. So again, looking north, you've got the Big Dipper here. We got, again, the two bands of aurora colors. We got the pillars going up. The structure of aurora looks different, even if the colors were the same. You should be able to look at the structure of it and be able to tell the difference. Aurora, when it's low on the horizon, usually forms an arc. You're looking at the oval from the edge, and then if you have any details, there are usually vertical pillars in there, sometimes other shapes in there, but it tends to be more vertical because this is the aurora extending up above the Earth's surface. And then you have sky glow covering, air glow covering the much of the sky, right? And it would be back behind here as well, but it is dimmer than the aurora. In this case, the aurora is really dim and the sky glow is really dim. This is the same night. Again, looking north. Again, looking at the outer part of the Milky Way, which is usually in the night, and the north, which is in the north during the summer. Again, Pleiades, we got that V from Taurus. We've got the Andromeda Galaxy up here. Andromeda Galaxy is actually quite big. You can easily see it in binoculars. You can just barely see it naked eye if you know exactly where it is. But you have this sort of band of air glow again. Wanted to say sky glow, air glow. And then this might be residual aurora down here. I don't know. It's kind of a muddy color, but that could be because of the clouds on the horizon. That it was taken the same night as that previous photo when there was aurora, but it looks like it had faded. So I think you can see that even if they were the same color and they tend not to be, even though the dominant source of the green colors is actually the same atomic transition, and they form in the same layers of the atmosphere. They look different. They are organized different. Like, based on these pictures, you should be able to tell the difference between the two, especially if it's not like if you're looking south and you see green glowy stuff, that is almost never going to be Aurora unless you're very far north, in which case there's going to be Aurora all over the sky and you're going to know it's Aurora. But if there's something green on the northern horizon, then it's a little bit harder, but they do look different. They do behave different. They have different shapes. The Airglow often has sort of ripples in it. Sometimes it alternates with, in the pictures, green and magenta, green and purpley colors. So it shouldn't be too hard to distinguish it, other than in cases where they're both really on a small area and very dim and very indistinct. Airglow, or as it's sometimes called nightglow, is a form of chemical fluorescence. It has a lot of similarities with Aurora. It occurs in approximately the same heights in the atmosphere. It has different color layers, and the dominant greens in it are produced by the same emission lines of oxygen. It is, however, considerably dimmer than both Aurora and the Milky Way, so it is much harder to see, and more typically it shows up in photographs. And it can be confused with Aurora, but given the differences in the locations, the structure, and even the color, you should be able to distinguish Airglow in photographs from the Aurora. With that, please check out episode 23, How Do I Use Astrospheric? I'm wishing you clear skies and happy hunting.